to the Andrea and Stacy show.
I'm Andrea.
I'm Stacy.
It looks like E.T. is in our window.
That's me, though, and my true self. Yeah.
Okay.
I have my hair tied in a knot today.
So we're here post Thanksgiving, and we did our thing that we talked about last time. We were going to go do a thing.
We did, and I have no proof.
No, it involves some flowers and some deliveries.
Yeah,
and I think it was pretty good.
I think it did too.
You made some beautiful arrangements.
Oh, thank you.
With some really crappy flowers that we had to choose from. Nothing says happy fall like roses.
They did look good in there, though. I looked at the picture that
not
one
being like,
posted.
Well, I mean, it was with everything else.
Yeah.
So we had an Asian beetle invasion.
Oh no, there's 3 of them.
They're in the attic, just crawling through that little crack in the light.
Allison gets hundreds of them at her window. Mm-hmm. They just come back.
The house over in her spring's full of them.
For years, I thought they were ladybugs. I was how are they here in the winter?
And I read it and everyone's like, they are destructive. They will, they stink and they will destroy your home. I think everything's sensational. How about this? They just stay, and when it's warm enough, they go about their business. And you never see them. It did it when I turned it on, so it could be.
We need to give our man a name that watches us.
Wuhan Bill.
Wuhan Bill.
Beijing Betty.
Well, in case you didn't watch.
Shanghai Sam.
Shanghai Sam. I like that. Sounds like a character off of MASH. Every once in a while, the video will skip out. I don't know. Glitch.
I don't know.
And when it does, it is a split second. You see a silhouette of someone on the other side.
There's like another world.
And Andrea called this particular computer's manufacturer or customer service or whatever, and they said, yeah, about that, just keep your camera closed all the time.
Yeah, that was their recommendation. Offline.
Yes, offline.
And your camera closed. It's a known issue.
So
I heard
Shanghai Sam.
Yeah.
Hi, Shanghai.
Say hi to Shanghai. A lady, like the alien conspiracy thing, she got a TV, and one night, there was interference or glitchiness, whatever it is, digital TV, so it's not like it was staticky. But she said for a while it froze on a screen, and she was trying to make sense of what she was looking at, because like this, you're like, what? It takes a second.
Yeah.
But it was actually another room, and she could see computer monitors, and she said that the thing that was sitting at the desk that actually looked like it was making contact with her, like it could see her back, didn't look completely human. I believe it. I mean, it doesn't take much for me to, come on.
Well, I know that they do have that capability.
Yeah,
so I missed it. I looked down and blinked. He's just saying hi back.
Yeah, like his nickname.
Sorry, Shanghai Sam.
Or he's trying to send a signal.
We need to come up with something and write it in several languages and just have it back here. Every sporadic Monday at 9.
That dedication, interpretation thing, or whatever that was. I took a picture of that day. I didn't even know half those languages exist.
Yeah,
they didn't look
actually. Yes,
someone says a foreign language. I mean, I can think of some of the more what I would call exotic ones, but those I had never heard of. There were some
scripts on there for sure. The first time I ever saw anything like that was on G's story. He was filling out his paperwork to start that new job at the hospital, and it was thick printed out thing, and it was every thing was in like 15 languages. And the reason he posted it was because he's Filipino and his language is on there. That's why he posted it.
Crazy. But I'll do that. Google Earth and I like to find those little islands.
Yeah.
And you get the name, and then you Google it, and you see what goes on there. And
oh, I missed it again.
glitched again if you need help, Sam.
We don't know Morse code, so don't use Morse code.
Or any high-pitched signaling, because I already have tinnitus, so I wouldn't be able to pick it up. That's why I'll never get abducted. Did it?
Oh, you're stuck.
That's why I can never get an alien abducted, because I think they have to send signals to your brain. And I feel like my tinnitus it cancels
you
it.
and Dad will be the ones left on the block. They'll be like, hey, see my wife?
Or everybody else is in Mars, and you and I will be like some galaxy far, far away.
She misinterpreted the signal.
Yeah. We didn't understand the assignment, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, goodness.
Here's my new calendar. You got me.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good one. I like it.
I do too. Farmer's Market.
It's very folky.
Yeah.
I like it. Did I ever turn to my notes? Favorite thing to do as a kid?
Oh, yeah.
Look
See
at
what picture you got.
Sweet.
What's May?
There's veggies.
Nothing. Well, nope, nothing I eat.
It's got avocado.
Yeah, I do eat carrots,
Yeah.
asparagus, and avocado, but not beets and tomatoes.
4th of July, June's watermelon.
How did June always
get associated with watermelon?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You would think it would
August.
be July.
July would be
because of 4th of July.
Yeah.
But
watermelons aren't actually, they're in season year round in Mexico, but here they're not. I don't know. Some of those farm stands, when they start getting their mass truckload of watermelons.
Yes.
That they supposedly grew.
Yeah.
In like March. And those are the same watermelons I'm driving by in like August.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's going on with that?
That's like my.
I mean, I know some things can last a year if it's stored properly, but those are a roadside stand stacked on top of each other with humidity, heat, and.
Yeah. The my guy that comes by the shop, I like to support him. So it doesn't matter what he's selling, I'm going to buy something. But he would come in with tomatoes and say he grew them, and potatoes, say he grew them, and the women that work there were like, he does not grow those. And I'm like, that's okay, I mean,
yeah,
I don't care. So I asked him one day, I said, what do you have that you grew? And he didn't have anything. And he said, well, I've got some tomatoes and apples, and he just picks up whatever and then goes and sells it. So he just quit saying that he grows stuff. But one of the people that I didn't think about that would be caught up during lockdown are those guys that have the hot dog stand, or this guy who goes from office to office selling food. Right before that, he had gotten sick and his van quit. And so he got a new to me van, and it's nice. He was happy about it, and showed it to me out the window and stuff. And then right after that, we locked down, and he almost lost it, but they worked with him on it, So no matter what, I will always buy $3 worth of potatoes, and then a couple of apples, or I don't care how much they are.
I mean,
and the other women
getting it delivered
will occasionally buy, because they'll have sweet potatoes, because they don't want to have to go to the store to get. And they are all single, So a 5-pound bag of potatoes waste on them.
Yeah.
So they can get a 1 pound or 3 pound from him, and that's perfect for the week. So Jeff's like, we have enough potatoes because I buy them every day. And they're little brown sacks, so we just have brown sacks of potatoes stacked on top of each other.
This kind of doesn't go with that, but I saw this thing. It was about adult ADHD. And like one of the examples it gave of an adult difference between like a child or an adult with ADHD, like a child, they have a hard time focusing. They like to fidget and get up and walk around. But an example, I kid you not, for adult ADHD was spending a large amount of money at the grocery store for a single recipe instead of buying groceries for the week.
What?
If that's the criteria, I got AADDHD. To one of those exponent powers, like, whose criteria is that?
I
really?
don't know, because I don't go to the grocery store, so I couldn't even have the opportunity to know if I had ADHD.
What does it mean when you're just in a drive-through? Because the thought of pulling off a recipe is like too much. Me trying to get stuff for a recipe at the grocery store, reading the list. Oh, I probably got that. That's probably got that at home. Get home, I have none of that. Then I'm at home before I go to the, grocery store, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna need that, gonna need that, gonna need that. And then I come home and I've already got that. So apparently I'm never gonna take the extra step of looking in the pantry.
This
first.
is me in a grocery store. Ooh, lemons. Do we need lemons? No, Stace. Oh, cereal. Do we have cereal? And I run to the cereal aisle. And then Jeff will be like, go get, I don't know, chicken noodle soup. What aisle is the soup on, Jeff? Aisle 3, Stace. So I'll run down there, and then I can't determine if we need chicken and stars, chicken noodle, sodium-free chicken noodle. And so I come back, or I'm still there by the time he makes it to aisle 3, and he'll just pick up the cans of
He doesn't want you in his way, so he gives you complicated things. Like soup. What are you going to do with that?
And then, heaven forbid, we need spaghetti noodles and I'm there. Because he'll buy the same spaghetti noodles until they just don't make them anymore. Nothing wrong with the spaghetti noodles that we get. I get there and I'm like, whoa, look at all the spaghetti noodle options. And then
the red lentil noodles have more flavor. It says right on the box.
And then I end up buying like flat
vermicelli.
Yes, because this would be cool for spaghetti.
I was just going to cut them in half.
He lets me.
I want to know.
Also, that's how we ended up with like 25 pounds of elbow macaroni because the bag was cool. And I have a big glass jar full of elbow macaroni.
It was only 50 cents more.
So I don't know.
What is it with the Italians and giving things with the same size a different name? Because you have linguine, then vermicelli. It's the flat, wide noodle. Yeah. Why don't they just pick one, like linguine, large, medium, small?
I don't know.
Spaghetti.
It's thin. Because somebody made all the pasta, and then somebody like us were like, we're going to make pasta. Mm-hmm. And we spent 4 years on names. And then we had to go buy their pasta and put it in our box because we never got to the manufacturing of pasta.
Like, who gets to pick? It's not the same person. Because it wouldn't be spaghetti. Thin spaghetti. Angel hair. Somebody was on angel dust when they named Angel. It makes no sense. I like watching those things that were shocking when I came to America.
Yes.
She was like, I need to go get milk. And then she goes to the grocery store. Why are there so many milks?
Because we're all special.
I saw a comedian doing a skit in Canada. Like, he wasn't doing it for the benefit of us, but the benefit of them, about Captain Crunch. He was like, you know how it is in Canada. You want your cereal, so you go and you get your Captain Crunch. He was like, but then I went and did a show in America, or like the United States, or the States is what they call it. I went and did a show in the States, and I go to get my Captain Crunch, and what? There's Captain Crunch, there's Chocolate Crunch, there's Crunch Berries, and just because they have everything you could want in America, there's one that just says just berries. So it's like, it was like, there's no Captain Crunches in it. It's just the Crunch Berries. Like, that's right.
And the rest of the world wonders why we have so much trouble.
Yeah. Remember how hot chocolate used to have a few little marshmallows in it? Well, they make a Keurig one where it's hot chocolate and it's got a little cup of marshmallows on it.
Oh.
But now they also have like the Swiss Miss or whatever it is in the box. And there was it said hot chocolate with marshmallows. So I just got it thinking it was what I thought it was. No. You pull it out and there's two packages stuck together, right? You normally just rip one off, because they're kind of perforated.
Yeah.
And I went to do that to pour the powder into my cup. An entire packet of marshmallows.
What?
Yeah.
That's too many marshmallows.
No one. What? Those things disappear like cotton candy and water. Like,
yeah.
I think we're getting cheated. And then I bit one, and it was just like dust.
Oh.
It wasn't a real marshmallow. I like when you use the real marshmallows and they puff up.
Yeah. Was it dehydrated marshmallow and it was so small that it just disappeared after it hydrated?
I have no idea.
That's it.
Like it put like a white film on top.
Oh, well, that's not cool.
It looked briefly like a marshmallow. By the time you were sipping it, it looked just like some cream on top or something.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, it was not. It was disappointing. My
daughter's behind the computer, so if you hear weird little noises, it's definitely her.
It's not the mouse in the wall I heard the other night.
No, that's a different noise. You alright, Allison?
Yeah.
Says the mouse from the wall.
I am the mouse. What is it? Is Beatrix Potter? She wrote the Cottontail, Peter Cottontail.
Oh yeah.
But she had all the other little characters.
For a minute, I was thinking of Beatrix.
One of them was like
Harry Potter, and I was like, she wrote what? I'm with you now.
J.K. Rowling, I take credit for that too. What was it? Oh, Miss Tittlemouse.
Miss Tittlemouse.
Remember she lived in the wall?
Yeah.
That's not what was in my wall.
It was Mr. Tittle Rat. The gangster mouse.
People moving from all these cities to Oklahoma bringing their rats with them.
Ooh, better not be. I'm thinking about the screen grab we're going to get for this video, and I think we have plenty of things to pick from because my face.
I've been getting flushed skin a lot. Weird.
Is that good or bad?
I don't know. I go into the sun and I come back in and it looks like I'm sunburned, but it fades. So something's got me photosensitive.
Yeah.
Don't know what it is. I'll figure it out. I think I'm at that age, so I just need to use that daily moisturizer, like that Aveeno that has a little bit of sunscreen in it.
Yeah.
Probably at that point. I'm not at that point for a while. I'm at that point where I'm not going to climb a stair unless my life depends on it.
Oh, man. There's a lot of people at the shop that take the stairs on purpose. I'm one flight up, and I think it's like 15 steps.
What are you trying to prove?
Yeah.
That you're going to wear your knees out faster than the rest of us?
Yeah. I can go downstairs, but going up, this knee crunches, and it doesn't always hurt, but when it does hurt, then I'm limping into work. Like, it's, so why risk that? It's uncomfortable.
Yeah. My knee's going to go. I don't really know a stairwell.
Oh, man.
I want to be someplace convenient. Ground level. In a department store.
On my way to sitting down on a couch.
Or I have things I can hold on to.
Make sure you yell and grunt while you're going down. Make the most of it.
Yeah. When I was where I was at last week, in the adjoining room, there was an idiot. I don't even know what he came in
like
for.
You were in a crazy house.
I was. Listen to the story. Well, bless their hearts. First, they were dealing with me. Tired, cranky, stressed, and in pain. That's 3 things, and I put up 4 fingers. No, that's 4. Tired, cranky, stressed, and pain.
Yeah.
Okay. In pain, not insane. But the other one's implied. I'll just 5. But the next thing, a guy came in, and they knew him by name.
Oh.
And
that's never good.
From what I can put together, he too was in pain, except when he was talking on his cell phone.
Oh.
And then they gave him some kind of a pain medicine, but apparently it wasn't enough.
Oh.
And so he'd be like, "Nurse, help me, help!" Like the whole gamut. And the doctor, because you're not going to send nurses in there, right?
Yeah.
So the doctor would be like, I think it was like Donnie or something like that. You're just going to have to give it time. You know the protocol. We're seeing other people now. Stop yelling or, you're going to go. And then so he was like, I need something. So I think the doctor or a nurse went in there and he was like, "Don't touch me. Get your fucking hands off of me. Help. Get your fucking hands off me. What are you doing? Help." So I was like, "I'll help." So I beat him. Like, I will will my ass in there, Bonnie. So I was just tired of it. And the nurse came around because she thought I needed something.
Yeah.
I was like, "No, but if you have something heavy." And I was like, I'll get him to shut up. He was getting on my last nerve. God. It makes me wonder where my level of compassion really lies. Like, if I see someone drowning and I think they're faking, I don't know if I want to get wet. You're going to have to really convince me. Donnie wasn't convincing
anybody, it sounds like.
No.
Donnie got right in there. I go out there with obvious problems.
Yeah.
And get told to sit and wait.
You'll be fine. And they're always busy.
Are they?
I don't know. Like, there's someone in every room, but always in my room for hours while they were busy.
Yeah.
Like, we could have cleared this up pretty quick.
Yeah.
Honestly. It's weird. I wonder if it, like, you have to monitor them for so long, like, or I don't know what the criteria is. It's probably nonsense.
Do you get paid by the hour?
United States medical
rent
system.
in the room?
I don't know. Maybe they have to keep you so long before insurance pays.
Yeah.
I think the second time it was kind of my fault because I'd gone and left saying I was fine and then came back. So I think they weren't going to let me go until they, which I kind of appreciate that. I was laying in the room where my grandma.
Oh.
No, it was really not the one she died in, but it was like the last one I remember seeing her in the hospital. So that was weird.
It's hard on Jeff because his mom died in the one with the glass doors that's by itself. So, like, Allison was in the room. We had to walk by that. I was in a room and he had to see it, So he never says anything, but I see him look at it. And I'm like, crap. My appendix has caused the
brings
pain.
it back.
Yeah, it does. Because, I think of it too when I see it, but I don't. It's not that emotional thing for me with.
I'm not emotional like that. It's just funny what little things you can remember. Like when you stop and a memory comes up, they say smell is very psychosomatic, Like it can trigger more memories than like seeing a photo almost. Like a smell.
Yeah, I've experienced that.
It's weird. You can remember little details.
There's from when I went in, I remember thinking that's where Peggy passed away. That's where Turner got his eyebrow glued back together. That's where I went off on the doctor for no reason at all because I don't know why. And this is the room that Allison was in. Like, I know somebody or myself been in every emergency room in there over my lifetime of living here.
Like, I don't know. When stuff triggers, I remember, but I'm just thought, I don't wear my emotions on my sleeve too much to be affected, I guess. I have to stop and think and focus. Maybe that's that ADHD standard.
Was that on the list? Walking into a room and not being able to make it to your emergency room because you're telling stories about all the other emergency rooms.
I think I do pretty decent. I feel like in my life I maintain. I feel like, I'm at least average or aspiring to be average as far as like existence and coping and being human. And then I get around like my brother and sister who are.
Yeah.
And then it's like, if I have people come to my house for Thanksgiving, which I have before, I might dust the ceiling fans. Like, if I did that, I put in effort, right? Yes. I'm proud of myself. I did it. My brother built a patio, like, hand poured it, like, excavated. Those little triangle, like, awnings, fire pit. Wow. That's what you etched out in your 2 weekends. Like, I've been thinking about mowing and cleaning up the leaves. I just don't have that,
Yeah, being around Gail every day. Because she sees something that needs to be done, she just does it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I did that. I thought if a chair was out, I pushed it in. If there's trash on the floor, I pick it up. But I don't do it like she does.
No. I have spurts, but it doesn't. When something knocks me off my game, it may drop me, but what happens is I go too high.
Oh.
Like I'm probably bipolar, and this is like my manic phase. Like, it never lasts very long. Then it drops to subpar. I've been edgy. I've been snappy. I've been like mean to strangers. They deserved it, but it's to excess.
Yeah.
I was beating the crap out of my vacuum cleaner day before yesterday. Like, new vacuum cleaner. The other one, literally the thing that rolls, melted. It got so hot it melted. But it was a cheap old vacuum cleaner. Yeah. So I picked one out of what is available. And it's like not picking up anything. And it's like my third time to use it.
Are you on steroids?
I don't know.
That would explain that.
No, okay. Anything like that.
Okay. I was going to say that would explain the flush and the beating the vacuum.
Yeah. Or that's just my personality. But I was explaining to Dean, I've already cleaned it out,
Yeah.
And then the fact that I've only used it twice and it's clogged again, that means it's a crappy vacuum cleaner.
That's
it
exactly
just
what it means.
is. And I don't know. I don't want to do. I mean, I try to dump the canister every time, but I do not want to do a full maintenance routine every time I have to use it, which involves. Why do I want to take the time to suck stuff up with a hose if I have to disconnect it and then stick my finger in there to encourage everything to come on through?
Yeah.
And the suction is tied in with the hose, like the main suction.
Yeah.
Who does that?
I don't know.
Like it should go straight into the canister.
Yeah.
It is a horrible design.
Before we had rugs, we just had the wood floor, and I finally got so upset with trying to vacuum a wood floor that I just went and bought a Dirt Devil shop vac. The little one.
Yeah.
It has all the attachments to clean a shop with, and I could go right around the floors, and I sweat before I
saw
vacuumed.
one on sale at Walmart for Black Friday for $59. A little. Yeah. Like
that's what I used for years. And
because it'll pick up anything.
If you get the wet vac, then if there's a spill, just suck that.
That's what I saw. It wasn't wet vac.
But on the floors, you can sweep, but it just fills in all the cracks of the wood floor. So I would sweep.
Goes up my nose.
And vacuum that up and then just run that hard thing over my floor, and it worked great.
That's a good idea. So where did it go?
The hose isn't as long, but that didn't matter to me.
I have to plug it in 12 different things
to get anywhere.
The cord on this vacuum cleaner is another genius design. You pull it out, and to get it to go in, you push the button.
Oh.
Now, if I want to take the time to loosely lie it out in a straight line, push the thing, it sucks it in.
Oh.
But heaven forbid you unplug it, walk over to the vacuum cleaner, there'll be a kink in it, and then you're like feeding it in there. Like, why is this?
Yeah, that's a bad vacuum.
It was hard, but.
We haven't said anything funny because she hasn't. She's like, what do you want me to be quiet? Oh, laughing's involuntary.
I laughed twice.
Oh, okay.
See?
Oh, yeah. That's a cool looking one. Mine was black and red.
It's $29.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they weren't great.
Yeah, it says wet and dry.
Yeah. When the kids would spill stuff, I'd get the vacuum suck it up. Like stuff.
You have to go into the store to get it.
Oh, because it's.
Well, that rules that out. Not even if they were going to pay me to come pick it up.
At Walmart? I'll get it. I go to Walmart. She's going to ask me if we can go to Walmart when we leave here. So I'm going to start man, I'm so tired right now, so that she won't ask me.
I won't pick up on the vibe.
That's true. She'll be like, you can sleep in the car.
You have a wheelchair. I'll push you.
No. I saw some kids get in trouble. I will explain how they got in trouble at Walmart. They were going to put up one of those electric carts. All three of them on it at the same time.
Being helpful.
And the older man that works the door on I guess it'd be the south side, he was washing them, and then he'd take a step. And, I mean,
just killing him, wasn't it?
Staring at him. They didn't even know he was there. And then he gets like 6 feet from him. I'm checking out at that end self-check thing, and I'm watching the whole thing happen. And then he can't get in closer because he's supposed to be watching us. And there's like 2 more kids with the group, and one of them has a basketball and rings it up and goes, "It's $29.95," and runs off like it's a price checker. So he had to go point that out. And then another kid runs up with this giant Nerf gun and goes, "It's $39.99." And then he has to clear that out. And then a girl comes up, and she's got some makeup, and she just rings hers up and pays for it and goes, "Here, it's what's left." So they had like $100 bill, and then the other kids run over, and then they run back and get on it, and he gets back to the 6 foot position, and he's just standing there looking at them, and then trying to watch them. They wanted to buy, but they were trying to make sure they had enough money.
Yeah.
Which was adorable. And so I kind of was going slow because if they didn't have enough money to buy a basketball and a Nerf gun, and it wasn't ridiculous, I was going to help them. But they managed it. They figured it out. But I was cracking up. The other kids had bags already, so they must have already gone through that whole process.
Yeah. That's awesome.
I was like, those kids are thinking on their feet. I don't know how much it is. I know how to find out. Doo-doo.
That's a good idea, actually.
It really is.
You have to go around, just reach over and grab one of those scans. Because you got to see the screen. But they used to have that thing in the store on the pole.
Yeah.
It never worked.
It
would
never,
always be out of order.
And the one in the like party area that they had was so loud, it felt like my ears were bleeding. It would make that beep noise.
Yeah.
But it was like
everybody knew. Yeah.
Yeah, it was louder than all the other price checkers in the land.
I went to Jiffy Lube today. With Lube, whatever it is, Jiffy. The new one?
Yes.
I waited 45 minutes, right? Well, there was just 2 cars. It was inefficient. I sat in for the first 20 minutes, watched them vacuum out the cars and wipe the windows.
Oh.
Before they even started the oil change.
That's supposed to be running while they're doing that.
Well, there was 2 of them, but they were trying to go back and forth between cars, so they were really just stepping on each other's feet. Another useless guy was running around, not chipping in anywhere to be helpful. That's their own issues. But they drive it in for you and have you wait in the lobby.
Okay.
So I go into the lobby, and I called Dean. I was like, come wait with me. I was like, it's probably going to be another hour. He comes, and we're sitting there. He was like, have they made you go into the room to watch the videos about what's wrong, update? They have a separate area with a screen. And from what it does is they do these checks on your car, right? And then they go back in and they're like, well, we're looking in the data. Now, they manually do, so they have to put this in, right? But they pretend like this computer's just letting us know that, you might need an cabin air filter, and this guy, I watched him go over there, and it was like a little clip because his tire tread was low, and they were recommending that he get new tires because they sell tires too. And then he was like, no, I don't want any tires right now. He's like, okay, well, I have to show you this clip. And it's like a little clip that shows tread, and then you push accept, decline.
No, we're not there. I will never go there now.
I went and sat there, and he was like, Miss Wilkerson, would you like to come over here? So I said, no. He goes, well, we need to run. I said, no.
Yeah.
I was like, I just want the oil change. And he was like, yes, but I have to. No.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Yeah. I'm not going over there. I'm not touching your screen, and I'm not watching the video. So he's like, okay, I'll just run through it for you. I'm like, yeah, you will. Yeah, I'm not doing it. You should have a customer refuse button, and it'll just save us a lot of issues.
Because I wouldn't watch that either. I probably know everything that's wrong with my car, and I've chosen at this point not to deal with it.
Then they call you up to tell you that it's done. Then you right there while they try to ring it up. And then there's surveys, questions, all this other stuff. And then you have to sit back down. Then somebody brings you your key.
That's not efficient.
The other, checkered flag, which is closed now.
Yeah, you just sit in your car.
You don't have to get out of your car.
Yeah. I don't want people going through my car anyway. Oh. That's not. I don't want to.
And he has this notebook, and he was scanning the barcode, so it probably brings up the car, so you don't have to have him forbid type it in, find whatever, and I'm sure it ties that specific card, whatever. But it's like they have this iPod pad looking thing, and it on the outside of the window shield, and it's like beep, And then I guess it wasn't pulling it up because it kept saying something was wrong with their system. But it would be like, beep, beep, God damn it, beep. Several times, like it took.
I feel like we should edit this down to just this and send it to Jiffy Lube. You've already convinced me I will never go there. I drove by it the other day. I was like, oh yeah, we have a Jiffy Lube. And I was like, huh. And then I kept driving.
It is not Jiffy.
They get the lube part right.
Not a lot of lubing going on. I don't even know if I actually got the oil. I watched the video.
The videos of the guy like
I don't know, man. It's all good. If we can just make it like through the rest of the season. I'm kind of just ready for just dead on hard winter.
Yeah.
To where I can like mentally shut down. I've never craved winter.
I've never craved winter in my life, but I am ready for like a week of cold.
Yeah.
Some snow.
Nobody wants to go out.
Yeah.
Everybody just wants to stay home.
Yeah, you can go to work and no one's going to come in.
Send Stacy to pick it up. You don't know what you get.
You won't ever get anything.
I'm Stacy on aisle 3.
That's why at restaurants I order the exact same thing every time.
So you don't have to read them and think about it.
Because I can't make the decision.
Yeah.
I almost had a mental breakdown over mayonnaise in Walmart one time because I didn't realize there were so many mayonnaises. And I'm talking like Miracle Whip, you know?
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, which one's a better deal? Like the big one, will we eat all of that? The small one, that's not enough. What if I make pea salad? Like, this is my whole process. And I'm like, Jeff's looking at me at the other end. I'm like, help. He'll come down and go, what are we buying? And I'm like, Miracle Whip.
You know that blue spoon we use when we make sandwiches? How many ounces in it? This is important. I need to know. Okay, so remember early 90s when they taught us how to calculate, ounce, like cost per ounce.
Yes.
Like, you couldn't, are you getting ripped off when Dateline was hard hitting news?
Yes.
We had entire hour specials about how to calculate the best deal at a grocery store.
Walmart does that now for you.
They put, the calculators on the shopping carts. You had all these women with calculators.
Yes.
Like, they finally just did it for you to eliminate all that nuisance.
Because that started because of sales. You would go in and a box, 16-ounce box of pasta would be on sale for $1. But the, 32-ounce box was like $1.50. But you bought the one on sale because it was $1,
Mm-hmm.
but the other thing was actually a better deal. Or something like that.
Yeah.
I remember them going through and like busting grocery stores because their sell items weren't really sell items.
And then that got counterbalanced with the buying in bulk.
Yes. Oh Lord.
So they wouldn't just let you choose to buy in bulk. Then they just started packaging in bulk.
Yes. Yeah.
Made it a tiny bit cheaper so you felt compelled to buy more so you too can have a jar of macaroni. Emergency crafting.
Yes, I was just thinking about the time I glued macaroni onto a high heel shoe and we spray painted it gold and stuck fake flowers in it with the green stuff. And that was my mom's Mother's Day gift from church.
Nice.
I'd probably buy that if it was in a shop somewhere right now.
Macaroni art.
Yeah. On a high heel shoe. I want to know where the shoes came from. Like, who donated the high heels? That was fancy. My mom didn't wear high heels, so it was the only high heel.
I have a hard time believing that Pentecostals would donate any type of item of clothing that could be resold.
How did you come to this conclusion?
An awkward encounter with a Facebook group called Pentecostal Clothing Resale. Or something
what
like
is
that.
the main
There's a lot of denim. A lot of denim going on. We got skirts, we got pencil skirts, we got A-line skirts, we got culottes, we've got ankle lengths, we've got knee lengths.
No slacks?
I've not seen one pair.
I wonder why.
It all sells.
Only worn twice to morning service.
It all sells.
I was at work when you forwarded me that Facebook group, and I just opened it. I didn't read what it was, and I was like, what? Surely. Because I mentioned once that I wasn't allowed to wear makeup. I said, look at this. And I said, they're reselling their denim. And she was like, well, isn't that your church? I was like, so I broke down holiness, Pentecostal, Assemblies of God, and compared them to Baptist.
See, that's I had the exact same conversation with Dean yesterday in the car coming home. He was talking about this one lady wears denim skirts, so he thought he was like these three sisters we know. I was like, no, they're Baptist. She's Pentecostal. He's like, what's the difference? I'm like, well.
Let me tell you.
So he was like, but you were raised Pentecostal. I was. And he was like, did you happen to know why? Because my mom. My mom would send us and stuff that was probably inappropriate with church so she could sit there and wait for somebody to say something. Because she too must just really like
I was raised.
We never went anything inappropriate. But
I was raised Assembly of God with a heavy emphasis on Pentecostal.
We were Assembly of God in the Pentecostal transitional years.
Fair enough.
Because all the Assembly of God people used to wear, you know, like if you look back at the pictures, it did look more Pentecostal than not. I mean, you weren't going to, you had pantyhose on at least. Today, I'm not, but I do every other day.
She's crazy. There's no need. I hated pantyhose so much, I fought with knee highs all day long.
I didn't want to wear underwear with them. I didn't see the point.
Yeah.
Why they keep putting that little crotch thing in there?
I had a friend who would put them on and then put underwear over the top of them because on her they always came down in the crotch area. So she put really tight underwear on to keep her pantyhose up.
I always wore underwear with them and then put them over it.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Because that's what my mom insisted, the way they be worn.
Yeah. There was nothing worse because, you know, I'm not on the spectrum at all, but socks, I would rip socks in half because of how they felt on my feet. I would get so freaked out by them. But nothing worse than sliding pantyhose on and like right at your ankle they twisted a little bit and they would like cut into you.
I hated pantyhose. They're so ghetto.
And I can't run, so you put clear fingernail polish on it, and then it
fixed it. It just made it ripply. Every pair I had, if I put it on that day brand new, it had run.
I had a friend. This is just I
think I sabotaged it on purpose.
She's older than me, but she worked at, I want to say it was Walmart when it's where like Burke's is now.
Mm-hmm.
And she said they were fixing to close, like the guy was literally walking to the door to close. And this woman runs in and says, I need pantyhose. And remember the colors they would come in, like not just tan, nude, and beige. Mm-hmm. They would be like sun-kissed almond.
Darnness.
Yeah. So she came in and announced
suntan was
that. Yeah, that she needed this color and this size of pantyhose and stood there like somebody was going to run and go get them for her. So the guy took her back where they were. She was, I guess, a colossal jerk. And my friend was, you know, going to check her out because she was running the register. And she said she was just a bitch to her. And so she said, used to, you'd put everything in a sack and you staple the receipt to the sack. She said, I held it up. I put the receipt on it and I stapled right through her pantyhose and said, have a good night. And then he locked the door.
They used to do that. Were you at Refco? I think that was, do you remember?
Yes.
Because of Refco, everything was like a thin paper sack with this giant stapler that could go
all the way to the
inches
bottom.
down. That was a Refco story. That's a drugstore. Or I bought a Brooke Shields doll once, if that tells you anything.
Drugstores had the best toys.
Mm-hmm.
We had a Gibson's here on the east side, and they stapled the receipt to the bag. They also had a gun section that quite easily merged with the BB guns and the toy guns. It was like you would just be looking, all of a sudden you're in like the real gun section. I think they were one of the last holdouts to have like just a glass counter that you laid the gun on, but they were just on the wall. There was no, it was just open air.
Yeah.
And anybody could buy them.
I'm going to ask them to start stapling my receipts. They're like, do you want the receipt with you in the bag? I'll be like, I'll take it, please. And then I'll reach in my purse and I'll do it.
We should get dressed and just go shopping. Go into Paraffin and be like, yes, Andrea.
Only if we can wear our best friend necklaces. I keep threatening to
tease
get
our
them
hair
on.
up. You do blue eyeshadow, I'll do hot pink.
I want to do this because people ask, we'll be like, what? Like, we don't wear makeup that often.
We never get to come to town. Pick up really normal things like, look how fancy this lotion is.
I don't smoke, but I'm going to get one of those purses that have the coin purse on one side.
Out of the gas station the other day.
I'm going to get one of those. I'd kill to have one of those.
But if you get one, you got to get the 100. The 100s will fit in the long
one. Yeah.
And then your lighter / coin purse in the front.
Okay, last thing, since we're just mind tripping
52
here.
minutes.
Last thing. Now, I would trade every car we have right now for a good quality, like Lincoln or Cadillac that has those like plush, comfortable seats. The cigarette,
ashtrays. Where it flips and it also has a little holder so you could just set your cigarette.
Do you know what ours had in it? Straw paper. Like we would get a drink and we would put the straw paper in.
And it would get so jammed down in there you'd have to get something to get it out if you ever cared. Yeah, mine had rocks in it. Any little pretty tiny little rock I picked up, I put in there. Patrick, get your stuff out of my ashtray. I was babysat by a lady who would pile all of us in the car, but her chihuahua had this thing that hooked over the front seat, and it was like a basket that hung in the air, but it was for her dog.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and it just slid over. You lifted the headrest up, and it was just 2 little wire things with some rubber on the back, and then you put it down so the headrest was kind of on the wire, but the chihuahua rode in the front seat in that basket, and we, like 7 of us, would be in the back seat.
Rolling down the window till the air conditioner cooled off. Because you don't have a bit back there in those days. That reminds me of, do you remember also, my brother had one when he was little, it was a fad, those collapsible high chairs that like people would take their kid to restaurants
Yes.
and slide on the table and
Yes.
have those rubber stoppers.
And those rubbers now are like that yellow color.
Yeah.
I've seen them at Goodwill and
You
stuff.
gotta have a lot of faith in the table you're putting that on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
The rubber was the key of that thing, or else it would have just slid off when they pushed the lid.
Oops, there goes Mama Rug. Kid's crying. No, he's unconscious. God, what a weird night.
Okay. We'll see you guys later. Bye.